Welcome, my friend, to WTK, the What to Know show, about 12 rules for life, an Antidote to Chaos by Dr. Jordan Peterson. I wasn't looking for an antidote to chaos, but I like the imagery of chaos as a venomous snake. He could have called this the 12 most valuable things you must be reminded of, but that's not as catchy. So why am I inviting you to read this book? Well, there's an idea that has a hold of me, that you're never as good as you could be. I started this channel to record the most valuable things I want my son to know. I dug my dad's grave when I was 15, and I know that I might die before my son becomes a man. So I'm gathering what I consider the best available guidance for making his life better, and your life better as well. That's why I'm working on blockchain. By sharing with you what I find useful, I'm putting it to the test. Dr. Peterson is a compelling storyteller who uses archetypes to persuasively make his point. He's a brilliant clinical psychologist who taught at Harvard. I found this book to be a challenging read. I like to think that it's the book I would have written if I was a well-educated genius psychologist, but I'm not. But he is. There's a picture of him. He talks about topics I've never studied. I had to look up the definitions of metaphysics, nihilism, post-Marxism, and a dozen other words that he often uses. I grew up in a tiny hamlet. As Peter Gabriel famously said, it's a place so small we use small words.
It's a small town. They think so small. They use small words.
I wanted to go to university, and thanks to Professor Peterson's YouTube channel, I feel like I'm getting the best of what I imagine I missed out on. I used to think of university as a place where intellectual curiosity is valued and competing ideas are debated, an environment where you develop a meaningful philosophy for your life. Then I saw how horribly Lindsay was treated, ironically for daring to show 5 minutes of a TV broadcast in her critical thinking class without first condemning it. So my high regard for university is now a thing of the past. This is a work that you can't be indifferent to. You'll either oppose these rules or embrace them. What do you stand for?
What do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore.
Do you know what you stand for? Jordan took a stand on an issue that I had never even heard of. For that, he's been labeled divisive. Personally, I see a guy attempting to bring extremists closer to the middle. The wisdom is timeless. When my son turns 18, I'll give him this book. I hope that he reads it and says to me, "Dad, you know that I know this. You and Mom taught it to me. You can see that I'm living it." This guy rambles a bit. I couldn't agree with some of what he writes, but the gist of it is good. That would be excellent. As I read it, I kept asking myself, how will my son know that I know these things? What will he see me doing that reflects the wisdom? So how you do anything is how you do everything. Getting your own house in order is the first step in getting your whole life in order. Freedom can come from discipline. Rules help you deal with chaos in other parts of your life. I like that he focuses on the responsibility of the individual. Jordan teaches ancient biblical wisdom in a thoughtfully intelligent way. I like this book because it validates and supports what I already believe to be true. I'm Catholic. I like learning about other religions. I've watched The Message, which is the story of Muhammad, attended a Shinto ceremony in Japan, and read the teachings of Buddha, because I'm curious why people believe things differently than I do. My parents taught me that we're born to suffer, that death is certain, but that doesn't mean you can't laugh about it. And there's some witty stuff in here. If you don't laugh out loud when you read this, then I suspect you're one of those poor souls that lacks a sense of humor. If you lack a sense of humor, then you may find this book offensive. If being Canada's most listened to professor doesn't work out for him, he can always be a programmer. He speaks thoughtfully and precisely, and yet he's often misunderstood. I'll include a link in the show notes to an interview where the host kept misunderstanding him, and he patiently and reasonably clarified his position. I admire how he conducted himself. He's suffered many false accusations and quite a bit of name-calling. I'd love to be able to deal with that as gracefully as he does. So thank you, Jordan Peterson. This book is well done, which makes it significant. And thank you for being. Just our world is a better place for it. And thank you for watching. If you do read this book, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Be seeing you.
That's fairly interesting. This is the What to Know Show with your host, Peter Wayland.